Today is the 7th day of March 2020. Tomorrow will be a special day in the lives of Abaco and Abaconians. After 7 months of the government doing nothing and dragging off their feet, we, the people of Abaco, is going to memorialize our dead to put this dark chapter of September 1st, 2019 behind us. And for the first time in the history of this country, such devastation has happened. During the worst time of our life, we have the worst leadership in the history of this country, meaning the most honorable Prime Minister, Minnis, Hubert Minnis. And for the first time, after such a devastation, I'm speaking because Kai Mills, some people may differ, say different, but I put limb and life on the line to bring the story to the people. That is why we came to this point. On Thursday, just yesterday, we had the president of the Abaco Christian Council and the president of the Bahama Christian Council come together with the government in collusion to try to bury our dead. And after over 1,000 people has died, you still don't know the numbers. I said the 78 bodies in the trailer to date. The government keep changing the numbers. They said it's 50. And in that meeting, if there's 50 bodies there's a lot of family members. It shows you that the people of Abaco and indeed the Bahamas doesn't trust the government. 2 people showed up. Hallelujah. Thank you, Abaco, for not going to that meeting. Now, we are trying to have a memorial, and we don't want to see this Prime Minister at all. I am disinviting Dr. Minnis, the Prime Minister. I am disinviting the Minister of Health, Dr. Sams. I'm definitely disinviting K. Forbes Smith. And buddy. You imagine, world, because when I sent it out, I sent it over the Bahamas, I sent it to the world. You imagine you elected 2 people to speak for you in the House of Assembly, the head house in the country. We have not had one meeting since September 1st, 2019. Tomorrow will be March the 8th, 2020. We haven't seen Darren Henfield nor James Albury sit down one day. 7 months later, have not spoken to the people that they swore that they would represent. So we hopefully we don't see Darren Henfield, Minister of Foreign Affairs. He went everywhere, all over the world, speaking on behalf of us. But 7 months later, Darren Henfield has not uttered one single word to the people of North Abaco, who send them to the House Assembly to speak on behalf of North Abaco. To date, we haven't seen nor heard from Darren or James Albury in no type of meeting to speak to the people of Abaco. So we hope that they will disinvite themselves from this meeting tomorrow. We already said, whatever happened to Hiram Lewis? Just to show you how mixed up and confused this Prime Minister and this government. He dragged his feet for 2 months to create this ministry for Hiram Lewis. But all of a sudden, K. Forbes Smith making all the money, in the total 150,000 a year plus perks. She's the only one that travels back and forth, and we, the people, pick up her tab. I don't know what she's doing in Grand Bahama, but this is what she's doing in Abaco. Since Kay Forbes Smith been coming back and forth, she has stopped. You imagine this woman and the nasty of this woman? She has stopped the cleanup and removal for the last 2 weeks. Send you a whole bunch of people, you gotta fill this out, and then we, Kay Forbes Smith, dictator of the hurricane relief, we will then decide if we gotta pay, how much you gotta pay, or we sit down at the table and we bid on it. You're not bidding on garbage, but you may bid. Then the bids are sent into Kay Forbes Smith, and she and her team decide if she like you, if you're F&M, if you're not, then you will get the bid. All this time, 2 weeks in, the garbage is still on the streets of Mashaba, while Kay Forbes Smith said stop until Kay Forbes Smith put a stamp of approval on the cleanup. You guys imagine that? That is the latest. The woman stopped the cleanup until she could get herself together. And then you could start. Not a fiasco. The grave has been dug 4 feet, water. So you have to stop digging those graves and find another spot to bury 50 caskets. But watch this. After the government of the Bahamas been lying to people that they can't get no DNA, the bodies was too decomposed. Lo and behold, Chuck got Lorella's body. Tell him, come forward, we got a death certificate. So if you could find a death certificate for Relda, what about the other people that want their loved ones? The government has not been transparent with the people. We are having our memorial tomorrow, the 8th, at 3:30 at New Vision. But to date, after the government brought 20 Defense Force officers to pick up the president of Christian Council to open the door for Kay Forbes Smith, 20 officers, 2 bus fulls, more than 20. They sit down in the church, and to date, oh Jesus, to date, they cannot give you a date of when they are gonna bury our loved ones. After all the fiasco, they still don't know because they don't know. They don't even know where to bury them. They don't even know the ground of Abaco. They're still guesstimating because, again, they have not included the people of Abaco that's being affected. So, tomorrow, we're disinviting our Prime Minister, but I, Kai, I'm inviting the next Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Brave Davis, Chester Cooper. I am inviting y'all to this memorial so that y'all can see what we feel and a way forward when you, Brave Davis, become the current Prime Minister of this country that we need. Enough with Dr. Minnis already. Do not show up, Dr. Minnis. Brave, we welcome you with open arms. The people of Abaco, for the first time, don't want to see no red round that church. No F for them. We're talking about running. That can't happen. For the first time in the history of Abaco, there's not going to be an F&M seat in this country if the election was called tomorrow. Trust me on that one. So again, we welcome all of Abaco to try to put this dark chapter of Doreen and the lack of response and the lack of respect that the family has been shown by this uncaring government, our uncaring members of parliament, our uncaring disaster committee headed by Kay Forbes Smith. We don't want to see none of y'all. You're just bring more heat if y'all show up. You'll bring more anger. We want to get rid of the anger. We want to get rid of all the remorse that the government of the Bahamas has put on us. We want to have a smooth sailing. And we only will do that if you guys do not show up. This is one of these Kai Care video. We're looking forward to seeing the good people of Abaco at the memorial tomorrow at 3 o'clock at New Vision. Kai cares. That's why he's here.